2017 is quite the year for tech as we saw a lot of really interesting gadgets and trends. Hey, what's up everyone? Abe Alanders here of Yugatech, and we're sharing with you some of the more notable releases in the world of gadgets this year. PC gaming continues to be a growing market, and the biggest focus by vendors like Asus, Acer, and Lenovo is reducing the footprint of their gaming laptops while boosting their performance. This was made possible when Nvidia released its GTX 10 series graphics processors for laptops. Asus outdid themselves this year when they released the ROG Zephyrus, powered by Intel's latest Core i7 processor, Nvidia's Max-Q GTX 1080, with up to 24GB of RAM. The company was able to harmonize performance and portability, which is a dream for a lot of gamers. Acer brought out their own version of a thin and powerful gaming laptop with the Predator Triton 700. It sports almost the same internal hardware as the Zephyrus, but also added a mechanical keyboard, a unique cooling system, and out-of-this-world design. Gaming laptops are not the only devices that drew a lot of attention this year, as we saw quite a number of premium Ultrabooks like the Dell's XPS 13, the XPS 15, the Asus ZenBook 3 Deluxe, and the ZenBook Pro. The XPS 13 and XPS 15 followed the same slim design, beautiful infinity edge display, and impressive battery life. Asus created quite a buzz during this year's Computex in Taiwan when they announced their updated line of ZenBook Ultrabooks. The ZenBook 3 Deluxe and the ZenBook Pro have the same design DNA except with some minor details like the keyboard color and the available ports. The ZenBook Pro is positioned to be the workhorse laptop, while the ZenBook 3 Deluxe leans more on multimedia use. The more exciting segment is always the smartphone market. This year, we saw a lot of considerable shift in design as manufacturers sought of ways to make smartphone displays larger without making the overall footprint any bigger. The 18:9 display aspect ratio became a growing trend. Smartphones from different price ranges started having bigger displays while maintaining a relatively small profile. Among those that shifted to this trend are big brands like LG, Samsung, Huawei, and even Apple. Samsung bounced back from last year's Galaxy Note 7 controversy when they released the device's successor, the Galaxy Note 8. This is only after a few months of announcing the Galaxy S8 and the S8 Plus, all of which brought with them large and gorgeous displays. While all of the three flagship Galaxy smartphones offer almost the same internal configurations, the Galaxy Note 8 brought it up a notch with a record-breaking 6.3 inches of Super AMOLED display and its first dual-cam camera setup. Samsung never fails to bring out a contender that everyone else wants to be compared with. As we inch closer to the last quarter of the year, Apple also unveiled a trio of smartphones that would succeed previous generations of iPhones. Apple skipped the iPhone 7s and went straight to calling the successor the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 8 Plus. But that's not the showstopper. The company also announced its 10th anniversary iPhone, the iPhone 10. Apple's latest creation brought with it significant improvements, with the A11 Bionic chip and a set of new features both innovative and fancy, like Face ID or the Animojis. After they removed the audio port on the iPhone 7, Apple decided that the physical home button should go next, and this is what they exactly did with the iPhone 10. Another company that made a huge splash this year is Huawei. The announcement of the Mate 10 and the Mate 10 Pro resounded very well, with the Mate 10 Pro taking much of the spotlight with its own 18:9 AMOLED display and a spanking new Kirin 970 chip with built-in artificial intelligence. That plus a set of new dual Leica co-engineered cameras made the Mate 10 Pro a strong contender for Smartphone of the Year. As for LG, they dropped the modular concept that they first introduced in the LG G5 and went back to a tried and tested design formula and improved on that. What came out was a solid and well-made device in the form of the LG G6. The device covered all the bases. It had a beautiful design, gorgeous display, great performance, and battery life. They also upped their game with the announcement of the LG V30 later this year. It's got a close striking resemblance to the G6, but made bigger, better, and more powerful. Sony did not follow the direction of its competitors and remained steadfast in its focus. While it can match the hardware and performance of other flagships, the Xperia XZ1 offered something different and a bit outrageous in the camera department. A slow motion capture that takes up to 960 frames per second. That certainly catched our attention. Competition in the smartphone market are always fought by their flagship offerings, but that seems to have already shifted towards the mid-range segment where more people can afford to actually spend their hard-earned money on. There were different approaches, some featuring dual front cameras, while others with over-the-top selfie-centric features. What seems to be the more common among the top entrants is the transition to the bigger displays with an 18:9 aspect ratio. This year, we saw 3 devices took the market by storm in this category: the Vivo V7 Plus, the Oppo F5, and the Huawei Nova 2i. Huawei's offering brings with it a dual front camera setup along with respectable specs and an affordable price point. It performs quite well for a mid-range device, and its dual front camera are certainly a cut above the rest. Oppo, on the other hand, equipped its F5 with an AI beauty technology to get ahead of the competition. The company did something different, and instead of adding more megapixels or extra sensors to improve the camera, they went with a software enhancement and a lot of smart features. Talk about giving in to the selfie generation. Vivo took a more general approach for their selfie smartphone, the V7 Plus. The company bumped the phone's front camera to 24 megapixels. Although it does have a lower screen resolution, it made up for that shortcoming by giving it an extra long battery life. All 3 contenders offer good overall performance, generous amounts of RAM and internal storage, along with an improved and modern design. Outside the laptop and smartphone category, there were a lot of other really exciting releases this year. The first of this is a console from one of the leading gaming companies in the world, Nintendo. The Japanese gaming company is no stranger in making out-of-the-box ideas such as the successful release of the Nintendo Wii and the 3DS. This year, we saw the Nintendo Switch, a crossover between a handheld and a home gaming console. The Nintendo Switch was a huge hit, and stocks were almost always depleted during the initial release. Though it's not the most powerful console in the market, it provided a different case use, allowing gamers to take it with them anywhere or leaving it at home plugged to the TV. Where it lacks in power, it more than made up for in portability. Nintendo made quite the innovation this year, and it was evident as even as the year is ending, their sales are still soaring. Last year, DJI did really well with the Mavic Pro, a portable but intelligent drone that shoots stunning 4K videos. This year, the company bolstered their drone lineup by releasing the DJI Spark, a cheaper mini drone that includes all of the signature features, including hand gesture commands, all in a smaller form factor. Music lovers might also want to check out the JBL Pulse 3. The original Pulse and Pulse 2 were considered one of the more exciting Bluetooth speakers when they came out many years ago. JBL continues that trend with the Pulse 3, all with a new look and improved sound quality. Lastly, to complete the roundup of gadgets released this year is Lenovo's tribute to Star Wars fans, the Lenovo Star Wars Challenges. It's an interactive augmented reality game that comes with a Lenovo Mirage headset and a life-size Jedi lightsaber. The augmented reality game has 3 main features: lightsaber battles, which lets the user battle it out with different foes like Kylo Ren and Darth Vader; a strategic combat, which lets users lead the rebel forces against the Empire in a ground battle; and a holo chess game but with Star Wars as models. Star Wars fans will certainly love playing with this. 2017 is surely an exciting year. There were tons of great devices that came out, from smartphones to laptops and even gaming consoles. There were a lot of hits and a few misses, but overall this year has been really great.